He's Hacker.
Talk about a fried egg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Wednesday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us. As always, you can catch the show on all sorts of platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, every night till 10 o'clock, and, of course, right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. 2 weeks in to Jaguar training camp. This is, a practice number 11 today. The Jaguars will have one more tomorrow. They will have a walkthrough on Friday, and then they will play a game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Saturday night, 7 o'clock, preseason game number 1. Of course, you'll hear it right here on 1010XL with pregame coverage beginning at 4 o'clock. Speaking of the Steelers, we will go to the Steel City later on in the 9 o'clock hour. One of my guys up in Pittsburgh is Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and we will get the Steelers side of this preseason opener. We'll talk a little Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey, TJ Watt, DK Metcalf, all of which will probably not be playing on Saturday night. I think we were going to see a lot of Will Howard, right? The Ohio State quarterback that won the national title. Pittsburgh drafted him in round 6, but he broke a bone in his hand yesterday. So it's probably going to be a lot of Mason Rudolph, and it's probably going to be a lot of Skylar Thompson for Pittsburgh on Saturday night. As far as the Jaguars go, we don't know yet about the starters and how long they're going to go. Liam Cohen is going to meet the media, going to meet with us tomorrow after practice. We will probably find out at that point. If I were a betting man, and I'm not normally, but if I were on a regular basis, I would probably bet against seeing Trevor Lawrence. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. We'll see what happens. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I see Trevor out there. Hope we see Trevor out there for at least a series or two on Saturday night. But that's just not the vibe I'm getting, at least right now. But we'll see what happens when Liam Cohen does meet the media and probably tell us the plan for Saturday night's game against Pittsburgh. My Jaguar training camp one-on-one tonight is with Jaguar linebacker Chad Muma. You'll also hear from Brian Sexton of Jaguars.com. Brian will be on the television call Saturday night alongside Bucky Brooks of the Jaguars and the Steelers. Brian Sexton joins me in less than 30 minutes. So we got a lot to do. We're with you till 10 o'clock. As always, Jacksonville, we're very happy you're choosing to spend part of your Wednesday evening with us. Every night here on Hacker After Dark, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night and Dylan Denmark. Let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal? What is the big deal?
No big deal. It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
2 weeks into Jaguar training camp. 11 practices into Jaguar training camp. Now, obviously, we don't want to jump to conclusions. We don't want to state things that are ridiculous. We don't want to state things that we don't believe. I'm just going to give you the nuts and bolts of what I've seen through 11 practices, and I've been at them all. Every practice that's been open to the media, I've been there over the last 2 weeks. There are some things coming into training camp that you expected to see, or at least I did, that have come to fruition. There are some things that, quite frankly, I've been surprised by, both in a positive and a negative way. Let me get the negative out of the way first. The negative has been some of the injuries, right? Monteric Brown, out for the remainder of camp. Cole Van Lannon, out for the remainder of camp. Mason Smith, on the PUP list. Obviously, Eric Armstead, apparently now day-to-day with a back. I don't know where that happened. He was barely practicing as is. I'm getting more and more interested in that one as the hours and days go by. We found out 6th-round pick Jalen McLeod is probably out for the remainder of camp, as is Caleb Ransaw. So, look, the draft class has kind of been cut in half a little bit, right? I mean, Ransaw, the 3rd-round pick, was thought to be a potential starter at safety. He's going to be a week-to-week deal. You got 6th-round pick Jalen McLeod out of Auburn. He is now week-to-week. So there have been some injuries. Thankfully, knock on wood, nothing too significant as far as long-term. Most of the guys that are out are listed week-to-week, but keep in mind, we're still 32 days until the opener against Carolina. There hasn't been that devastating, again, knock on wood, that devastating season-ending type injury. So that's the negative. But to me, there has been far more positive. I'll give you something that I did not expect 2 weeks ago when camp opened. You know, all the talk this offseason, and I was guilty of it, talking about guys like Ezra Cleveland, Darnell Savage, Travis Etienne, Antonio Johnson, possibly a Chad Muma. Veterans here that we thought might have trouble making this roster. I got to tell you, Etienne has been fantastic. Both Savage and Johnson at safety have had terrific camps. Ezra Cleveland, to me, has been one of the best offensive linemen out there. He is the surefire starter at left guard right now. And my next guest that I'm going to talk to here in a couple of minutes, I talked to him earlier today, Chad Muma at the Miller Electric Center. I think he's had a good camp. And he's playing basically with one hand. He's got the other hand all wrapped up. We don't exactly have clarity on why. He's got a club on his hand. Still had an interception off of Trevor Lawrence last week in a deflection. So I think those 5 veterans in particular, the ones that we thought might have trouble making the roster, Muma, Savage, Johnson, Etienne, Cleveland, I think all have had very good camps to this point. 3 guys that to me have really stood out. Jordan Lewis, whew. Again, I don't want to get too high 2 weeks in. It's August 6th. It's not November 6th. But for where we are on the calendar, August 6th, Jordan Lewis, phenomenal free agent signing. Phenomenal. A veteran leader, a veteran presence, and he has been nothing short of outstanding out there. He's made a couple of diving interceptions. He has been terrific. Parker Washington and Brenton Strange, 2 third-year guys are going to be relied on this year. Very good. Both guys today, as a matter of fact, had really good practices. Brenton Strange might have made the training camp catch of the year, if not for what Parker Washington did about 20 minutes before that. Washington and Strange both had catches today that you could argue have been the best catch in training camp to this point. And then the training camp darling, maybe for the 2nd year in a row, is Joshua Cephas. He's been great. He was great last year. He might have been even better so far this year. So there is a lot of positive. Now, I'm not sunshine and rainbows guy. I'm not going to tell you, hey, they're going to win the division and head into the Super Bowl because of what I've seen in 11 practices. But I'm fortunate enough to go out there every day. I report to you what I get to see every day, and that's as truthful as I can be. The veterans that I thought were in trouble to make this roster are doing well. And guys like Jordan Lewis, Parker Washington, Brenton Strange, and Joshua Cephas have gone above my expectation. Now the question is, what will the conversation be 2 weeks from tonight? Well, stay tuned. But we got a lot to do here on Hacker After Dark. Again, we're with you till 10 o'clock. Brian Sexton, Jaguars.com. He'll be on the television call alongside Bucky Brooks of the Jaguars and the Steelers Saturday night. He comes up in less than 20 minutes. Coming up next, my training camp one-on-one with Jaguar linebacker Chad Muma, entering year number 4 I'm going to talk to Muma about the turnover on the roster, talk to Muma about his relationship with Devin Lloyd, Foye Oluokun. How is Muma different now than he was when he arrived here in Jacksonville? I think you'll enjoy the conversation. Jaguar linebacker Chad Muma joins me next right here on Hacker After Dark.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
When it comes to my opinion, I love dropping the hammer. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Every joint in the body was designed for movement. Inactivity can cause stiffness, weakness, weight gain, and decrease in overall balance. So you should strive for at least 30 minutes a day of exercises that promote flexibility like yoga, strengthening with weights, and cardiovascular fitness like walking, swimming, or biking. The more you move, the better you will feel, and your overall health will benefit. Let's get healthy, Jacks. Go Jags.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. Glad you're with us. 1010XL, 92.5 FM. You know, with the preseason arriving, by the way, stop the presses here. I should have done this earlier. Denmark, you realize what happened today because we have 3 preseason football games tomorrow. So the Indianapolis Colts, among them, they got on airplanes today, man. Are you kidding me? We got a little Anthony Richardson tomorrow night. Apparently he's going to play a quarter and a half, according to Shane Steichen. Daniel Jones will get the same run in week 2. But yeah, we have 3 preseason football games tomorrow, a handful on Friday, and then, of course, the Jaguars and the Steelers on Saturday. But with preseason football arriving, that means it's getting awfully close to fantasy football season. And the Hacker Fantasy League is back here in 2025 after a 3-year hiatus. The draft is 2 weeks from tomorrow night. Thursday night, August the 21st, Twin Peaks at the intersection of Atlantic and Kernan. We've already given away a handful of spots. There's only 16 spots this year. Now, it's a 16-team league. And those of you that play fantasy football, you probably know how tough 16 teams can be. You have to know what you are doing in that scenario. But if you want to be a part of the Hacker Fantasy League, all we ask is 2 things. Number 1, you're available on Thursday night, August the 21st. And number 2, bring some people with you. Bring the family. Bring your friends. Make it a guy's night out. Or bring the wife. Bring the kids. You're going to have a table of about 4 or 5 chairs. Don't be that person sitting there by yourself. We want a festive environment, atmosphere. Be available on the 21st. Bring some people with you. If you can do that, we'd love to have you. And as a matter of fact, we'll take caller number 4 right now. If you think you're one of the best fantasy football players that listens to 1010XL, now is your opportunity. 641-1010. That's 641-1010. And if you're caller 4, Dylan Denmark will hook you up with one of the 16 coveted spots in the 2025 Hacker Fantasy League. My Jaguar training camp one-on-one from earlier today at the Miller Electric Center, I had the opportunity to catch up with Chad Muma coming into year number 4. It's a contract year for Chad Muma. Is he battling for a roster spot? Let's talk to him now right here on Hacker After Dark.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
All right, the Jaguars wrapping up another practice out here at the Miller Electric Center, getting ready for the Steelers on Saturday night. We got Jaguar linebacker Chad Muma with us here on 1010XL. Chad, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for, talking with me today.
How'd the practice go out there today?
I think there was, ebbs and flows of the practice today. I think that, defensively, towards the end, we kind of let the offense, run on us a little bit, and that's not what we're looking for. Obviously, we're trying to, be more stout as a defense, especially during a call-up period where they're just driving the field down on us. So we're going to get back in the film room and, make those corrections that we need to.
4th year for you, 3rd different defensive coordinator. What have kind of the challenges been this offseason with another defensive system?
Yeah, I think, obviously it's just learning the new system right away. But, I think this is the system that I'm most comfortable with just because it's so similar to kind of what I had in college a little bit. So the techniques are similar and, I feel more confident playing in that.
I was talking to Jack Kaiser earlier this training camp, and he brought up a good point. When I hadn't thought of, you, Foye, Devin, all came to Jacksonville together. This is your 4th year together with those guys. Just talk about that bond, the chemistry in that linebacker room, being with guys that long.
Yeah, you definitely build trust, over 3 years like that. And so there's a lot of things that we're able to just talk about with one another. And, we kind of see things similar, especially being in 3 different, systems together, and you kind of build that trust more and more. And, on the field, you're able to play faster because you know how guys communicate out there.
A couple of more for Chad Muma. All right, so you mentioned Anthony Campanile's system, obviously Liam Cohen as well, brand new staff, huge roster turnover. For a guy that's been here as long as you have, what has this offseason been like with so much newness in the building?
Yeah, it's a lot of new, but I think it's good because we're bringing some good competition in. I think that, only makes players better when you have, more competition and, there's not certain, spots that are filled out right away. You got to, really compete in the offseason, really compete in the weight room, really compete in the film room, and then on the field, obviously, come in training camp.
You get to hit somebody else on Saturday night and got a big smile on your face. I mean, look, mini camp, OTAs, we're out here watching you guys every day compete against each other. Finally, another colored jersey comes in. How excited are you for Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's about time that we're able to hit someone else and go against someone that's not our own team and, really let loose. Not worried about, making sure your team stays safe, but you're out there, trying to go, punish the other team.
As we begin to wrap up, year 4 for you. You've been out here, so many times in the previous 3 seasons. How is your game different? How is Chad Muma different now from when you arrived here 4 years ago?
Oh, man. I mean, when I arrived here 4 years ago, I was, a little rookie. And, there's a lot that's happening at once. Everything's kind of, it seems like the world's spinning around you and, it's going super fast. And I think things slow down a lot more the more you go each year in the NFL and you kind of understand, the way that things work in the NFL. And just confident, flying around, just trying to, make plays out there.
Final question. Obviously, last year didn't go the way anybody wanted, you guys, the fans, but there is an awful lot of excitement in this city. I'm sure you feel it. What's your thought, your message to the fans that are coming out Saturday night? First time a lot of them are going to see you since last January. Just talk about the excitement and what you want the fans to know coming out Saturday.
Yeah, they should be excited. I think that we have a great team this year. I think that there's a lot of playmakers on our team. There's a lot of excitement, and I think you can kind of see that through the training camp. If fans have been out here, they've been able to, participate in seeing on, one-on-ones or team plays and explosive plays for both sides of the ball. And so I think there's a lot of excitement around that, and I think fans are going to have fun this year.
Chad Muma, best of luck Saturday. We'll be watching.
I appreciate it, Ryan.
There you go, Chad Muma with us here on Hacker After Dark. As always, we certainly appreciate the Jaguar PR staff. They have been outstanding through all of training camp for helping us out with all these one-on-one interviews here on not only Hacker After Dark, but here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. I'm a Chad Muma fan. All right. I'll admit that. I like the guy. He's always willing to talk to the media when things go. I remember when the Bijan Robinson thing happened in London. Remember that? Was that his rookie year or second year when Bijan Robinson kind of left him in the dust there a little bit? It was not a great look. But I remember talking to Chad the very next week about it, and, a lot of guys would not want to talk about that, and he did. And that alone kind of got me to respect Chad Muma a lot. And just from that standpoint, I've talked to him a lot in the last couple of years, and he's just a guy that I like. I'm rooting for Chad Muma. But it's a tough room at linebacker. I mean, you think about it, all right, who are the locks? Laquentin is a lock. Devin Lloyd is a lock. Ventrell Miller is a lock, and I believe Jack Kaiser is a lock. That's 4. Now, what's interesting about the Jaguars is they list guys like Yasir Abdullah and Dennis Gardeck at linebacker. They also listed Jalen McLeod at linebacker, the 6th-round pick out of Auburn, but again, he's out week to week with his injury status, so that could be a little bit. And then you got Muma. To me, Muma's a guy that I want to see here for a couple of reasons. One, I think you could do a heck of a lot worse than Chad Muma as one of your depth pieces at linebacker. And 2, it is a contract year. And if you watch the NFL, you know that guys in contract years, they're playing for their future, tend to have breakout seasons. And you have that with both Chad Muma and Devin Lloyd at linebacker. Muma's the guy that I lumped in earlier with Antonio Johnson, Darnell Savage. Ironically, I'm talking Antonio Johnson tomorrow. We'll bring you that conversation tomorrow night here on Hacker After Dark. Those are 2 more. I legitimately thought Johnson and Savage were battling for one roster spot. I didn't know if there was room for both of them. I'd be very surprised, borderline stunned, if both guys did not make the team after what I've seen through 2 weeks. Both Johnson and Savage have been very, very good. And when you factor the Caleb Ransaw injury into that, that also plays a part. I mentioned Ezra Cleveland as well. Everybody had given Ezra Cleveland's job to Wyatt Milam. Ezra Cleveland was going to be traded or going to be cut or whatever. Well, as I said last night, somebody forgot to tell Ezra Cleveland that. Because Ezra Cleveland, look, they've had 4 padded practices. So, again, I don't want to get too far ahead here. What I've seen, Ezra Cleveland's been pretty good. And if you look on that depth chart the Jaguars released, there's no or after Ezra Cleveland's name. It just says Ezra Cleveland as your starting left guard. There's no other option there, at least right now. There are some issues with this roster. There are some issues with some of the guys on this roster. There are guys that are going to be battling for roster spots, and we'll get to that point. And we'll talk about that probably this week, tomorrow and Friday, and certainly as we get closer to cutdown day. But I just wanted to bring that up because I was thinking about that today at practice. Knowing that I'm talking to Muma, knowing tomorrow I'm talking to Antonio Johnson. I know Cowart talked to Darnell Savage. I saw that. Seeing what ETN did and then thinking about Ezra Cleveland, I thought, those 5 guys were kind of taken out to pasture by a lot of people this offseason. And I think all 5, 2 weeks in, have performed very well. And if you're asking me, and of course, Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, and Tony Baselli are not, but if they were, I would say those 5 guys are clearly 5 of the best 53 out there as we sit here on the 6th day of August. A ton more to do when it comes to the Jaguars. Former Jaguar defensive back Demetrius McCrae joins me in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll also go up to Pittsburgh, get the Steeler point of view on this game Saturday night with my buddy Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. But coming up next, one of my favorites to talk Jaguar football with, my pal Brian Sexton, Jaguars.com. You will hear Brian and Bucky Brooks on the television call of the game Saturday night. Let's talk to Brian about camp. He's seen it all here in Jacksonville, right? He's been here since the trailers were out there in 1993 and 1994. What has he thought of Liam Cohen's first camp, and what has he thought of just the craziness that comes with Travis Hunter doing what he's doing on both offense and defense? Brian Sexton next, right here on Hacker After Dark.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Football season is here, so I've got to get organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, wherever that clutter has taken over. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Steelers, Saturday night, preseason game number 1. Boy, it'll be nice to see the Jaguars get out there and play an opposite team. They've been going at it against themselves for the last couple of months. We're 2 weeks in to training camp. What have we seen in training camp so far, and what are our expectations for Saturday night against Pittsburgh? The man that will be on the call of the television broadcast of that game is my buddy Brian Sexton. Does a terrific job with Jaguars.com as well, and Brian's always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Brian, how we doing?
Listen, we're doing great, and I have to tell you, I brought my 21-year-old son, who listens to your show, to practice today, and he was thrilled to meet you. I just want you to know, I want your audience to know, you're a celebrity. And that's one 21-year-old kid is like, I listen to his show every night. I said, I know you do.
Well, that's
Pick up
awesome.
a book.
I really appreciate it. It was nice to meet him as well. And look, it's a family atmosphere. That's one of the things, Brian, I've noticed a lot. You mentioned your 21-year-old son. I noticed a lot of families of Jaguar players there at practice each and every day. That is certainly nice to see. I'm sure the players really enjoy that.
You know, it's not always that way, right? Just so you know, in all the years I've been there, it's not always been so welcoming, like bring your family, let them come down. But that's Pacelli and Liam and Gladstone. That organization has a completely, entirely different posture. And it's a great place to work. I've always thought it was a great place to work. But they have done a really big turnaround so far, and we haven't even seen the football team on the field. But I think that sort of culture that we've been talking about, it leads to the culture that they're looking for in the locker room. And I say that, Ryan, because I want people who want to know, is it really different? Yeah, it's really different.
Yeah, there is a different feel, and I'm not one to say that normally. I've even joked about that in the past, that people say, well, it's always different this time of year. No, legitimately, it does feel different in that building this year. All right, Travis Hunter. Yesterday, he was on a defense or an offensive drill. He then runs over to the sideline, puts on a defensive jersey, re-enters the same drill now on the opposite side of the ball. I've never seen that. I guess that's going to be the norm from here on out. Brian, what a story Travis Hunter is going to be to follow.
You know, Ryan, it's as interesting a story as I can ever remember covering in the Jaguars history. And I have to keep taking my conventional wisdom hat and putting it away because he's different. And the way that Liam and his coaching staff, that James Gladstone and his scouting staff see him is completely different. Now, the one part that I just want to pump the brakes on is we've all seen how difficult it can be for a rookie to make the transition from Saturday to Sunday at one position. There's a lot of information and a lot of work that goes in during the week. Now we're asking, can this guy do two? And that's a lot to ask. But in the reality of it, if Liam Cohen and his staff do this right, they'll have a role, a package, whatever you want to call it, identified. And then the key is going to be, can he play to that, or can we give him more? It's going to be an incredibly interesting story to follow. And I keep reminding myself, don't try to judge him by any other standard, any other player. It's not fair to him, and it doesn't tell the whole story because maybe he can do what no one else has done.
Brian Sexton, Jaguars.com. He will also be on the television broadcast of the Jaguars-Steelers ball game Saturday night at Everbank Stadium. Brian, some ups and downs in my opinion. I'm curious your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence 2 weeks into camp.
Well, I wanted to see some great practices, right? I wanted to see him stack, as coaches like to say, a couple of great practices together. And I saw good, right? And listen, considering the injury that he ended last season with, the concussion in the shoulder, good is okay. It's good to see good. But Friday night, I thought he was great. Mm-hmm. And on the practice field this morning, I was standing next to Mike Mularkey, and Mike said he's having a hell of a practice. So we've seen 2 good practices from him in the last 3. And I'm starting to get really encouraged. And I'm not just judging it on my eyes, Ryan. I'm talking to the offensive linemen, defensive linemen. I'm asking them their perception of the quarterback because all of these guys know that if they want to get where they want to get, if they want to be standing with the Lombardi Trophy, they need their quarterback to get where he's supposed to get. So I'm constantly asking players, what are you seeing? Is he making progress? Is it different? Does this offense fit him? And most people are willing to tell me, yeah, they're seeing it. I'm seeing it. I think Trevor Lawrence, I think Friday night, my belief level went up. And today, to watch him throw the ball, and I know you were there, you saw the one-handed catch by Brenton Strange. Mm-hmm. Listen, what people didn't see was the wide receiver on that side of the field slowed down. And so the cornerback was able to kind of jump in and make a play, and Trevor put the ball in the one spot he couldn't. It was a beautiful throw. And then a few plays later on the goal line, he's rolling right, being patient. His eyes are looking at the outside receiver, running to the boundary, and yet he sees De'Ami Brown on the goal line, back to the inside. Now, that's a dangerous throw, but, man, he whipped it. There was no way anyone was getting it but Brown. I'm encouraged. I really think Trevor has the chance to take that step this year. I think Liam knew what he was getting, and Liam is getting from him what he said he needed to.
The one thing I was really encouraged by as well, to echo your thoughts there, yesterday, admittedly, was not a good day for the offense. Trevor, I thought, was frustrated when he talked to the media yesterday, and it's obvious they went in and watched the tape, made the corrections, because it was almost night and day, Brian, today's practice from where the offense was 24 hours ago.
Ryan, listen, a word that I have used so much about this team, Trevor being a part of the team, but not Trevor in particular, is there wasn't any resilience, right? When things went bad last year, and look, what did they lose? 9 of 10 games that were decided by 7 points or less in the fourth quarter, which is where NFL games are decided, by the way. So when the game was on the line last year, this team couldn't close. They weren't resilient. I'm seeing resilience in Trevor Lawrence. Look, we always saw the physical characteristics that made him such a great quarterback in high school and college. And we saw the intellectual side of that, right? The understanding of the game. But we didn't see him put it all together with big plays in big moments. Yeah, there were some, but not consistently. We're starting to see that from Trevor, which is why I feel confident telling you and your audience that I think that he is going to have a really big opportunity this year, and I think he's ready to take advantage of it.
A couple of more for Brian Sexton. He will be on the play-by-play call on the TV broadcast Saturday night, Jaguars and the Steelers. You also see his terrific work there at Jaguars.com. Brian, defensively, look, we talk a lot about Trayvon Walker, Joshua Hines-Allen, Foye Oluokun, Tyson Campbell, with good reason. Those are the stars. But I got to tell you, I'm not sure anybody on that defense has had a better camp than Jordan Lewis. This guy has been outstanding so far as a Jacksonville Jaguar.
And listen, don't we know how hard it is to hit on free agents, right? You go out, you take a player and you look at his skill set, and then you try to project what he'll be in your scheme with your players as his teammates, and then how the money impacts him. Jordan Lewis is over-delivering right now. I mean, they are thrilled with what they are getting. But, you know, when you look at that defensive backfield, you're starting to see I mean, I'm a big fan of Trey Prince. I think he's got all the characteristics. I think he's had a nice camp. Well, Jordan Lewis is the leader of that group, right? So the young corners, even some of the young vets, are learning from Jordan Lewis as well. I think he sets a tempo and a tone for that room, and I think they're rising to it. And let's not forget, Tyson Campbell's still a young guy, and I think they're seeing great results for what they're getting. I'll give you a guy in that secondary as well. I think Antonio Johnson, who at the end of his rookie season in 2023 was really coming on. And then last year's debacle, disaster, choose a word, right? It was awful. It really threw everybody off. But he made a play in the middle of the offensive line last week where he took on Tank Bigsby, and it was a thing of beauty. I'm not even talking about the plays that he's made on the practice field today. He had a big interception. There's talent on this team. The defense isn't as bad as it played last year. I don't know how good they're going to be. The players are excited about the scheme. They love the defensive staff. That has a lot to do with it. But when you look at a guy like Jordan Lewis, he might be the difference maker on the back end. Because, Ryan, how many times did we see, a third down and 13 go for 37 yards last year?
Right. With a blown coverage. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I get the sense Jordan Lewis is the wrench. He's tightening things down in that backfield.
You mentioned Antonio Johnson. I completely agree. I'm actually supposed to talk to him tomorrow after practice. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Brian, we got about 90 seconds. The one thing I've noticed as well, you talk about guys like Ezra Cleveland, Darnell Savage, maybe Chad Muma, these veterans that some thought were in trouble coming into camp. Look, I don't know if all these guys are going to win roster spots or starting spots or whatever, but I got to tell you, every time I watch Cleveland, every time I watch Savage, and every time I watch Muma, they're doing something right. So if somebody's going to take their job, they're going to have to earn it.
Listen, two things. First of all, Cleveland is a great example of that. Because I asked somebody who would know, did you expect to see Ezra Cleveland play this well based on how he played last year? And the answer was absolutely not. That's why they drafted Wyatt Milan, right, to come in and play guard. And yet Cleveland didn't get let go. They need these guys because the three guys you mentioned are all big on the salary cap. So they need them. And that's one thing. The other thing is I think really it's indicative of what they've done right in the offseason because these players want to be here. Mm-hmm. They see what's possible. They see the organization as it's been restructured. They see the commitment to players and their families, and they want to be here. And it's something, Ryan, that I say all the time is this should be a place that everyone wants to play. It's North Florida. It is a tax advantage place to live and play. It's a great environment to live and play. It's a place that loves football. Hell, I've been saying for years that this should be the Green Bay of the South. And it seems like those guys in particular, they see it. They see it too.
Brian, what can Jaguar fans look forward to Saturday night with the television broadcast of the Jaguars and the Steelers?
Well, we can't wait to tell the story of, the new guys at the top, Tony and Liam and James Gladstone. And obviously, as you and I said, the story of Travis Hunter is as intriguing a story as we have seen. It should be a lot of fun to share that one. And, of course, the quarterback. And there's just, especially with a new staff in place, but with this new staff, we got a lot of fun stories to tell. And Bucky Brooks is outstanding at breaking down what's happening and who's getting the job done and who needs to step up and improve if they want to make the 53. So we'll have a good time.
My buddy Brian Sexton, Jaguars.com, and on the call Saturday night in the TV booth for the Jaguars and the Steelers. Brian, thank you as always. I'll see you out there tomorrow morning.
You got it, Ryan. Have a great one.
Tom McManus buckles his chin strap as he joins Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl for the new Helmets and Heels.
I just love a man in uniform.
Catch the pros' point of view afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on Sundays. Sometimes it's flag football, weekend yard work, or just playing with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has two epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. 10 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, former Jaguar defensive back Demetrius McCrae. We'll also go to Pittsburgh. My guy up with the Steelers is Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, as we'll get the Pittsburgh point of view on this preseason opener Saturday night here in Jacksonville. So a lot of Jaguar talk to come with you until 10 o'clock. Denmark, maybe it's me, and perhaps it is, but I was going through the memory banks here. Boy, the Florida Gators are usually good for 1 or 2 bad injuries every fall camp, man. I mean, this seems to be like a running thing with them. You already have the worry about DJ Lagway, and he was in a walking boot, and how is the calf doing? And now all of a sudden we find out that their all-world 5-star true freshman wide receiver Dallas Wilson has a, quote, lower leg injury. and will be out for some time. Now, in doing a little investigation, I think it's more week to week than month to month, if that makes you feel any better. We're still 24 days away from Long Island. Now, I don't think the Gators will need Dallas Wilson to win against Long Island. And he is a true freshman, so you don't want to rely on him too much. But there's no doubt he was one of the guys that everybody was excited about and kind of let the air out of the balloon today when you find out that he's hurt. And Denmark, is it me or doesn't it seem like every single fall camp the Gators have one or two injuries like this?
Yeah, it does. I remember Pyburn got hurt, what was it, 2 years ago? I can't remember who got hurt a year ago in fall camp for the Gators. But, I mean, I think every team goes through this. You just look at the Gators because that's the team you cover. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier had a scare today for LSU.
Yeah, LSU fans were having heart attacks in Baton Rouge. But that, by the way, it turns out he's going to be okay.
Yeah, people freaked out for a moment, but he seems to be okay. I mean, it's just part of fall camp, man. You have to be physical and you have to have physical practices before you start your games. And I mean, it's just part of the game. Like, you're going to have guys that get hurt. Hopefully, nobody tears their ACL or has a season-ending injury. Hopefully, a guy just gets banged up and is out for a week or two.
Now,
it's just part of the course of the game.
I guess my question is, in regards to Dallas Wilson, it does sort of tell you where Florida is at. And I don't know if it's a bad thing or not, but it struck me. It sort of tells you where Florida is at, because most top 25 teams or most, upper echelon Power 4 teams, if a true freshman wide receiver goes down with an injury, they're not going to blink. But there's been so much talk about Dallas Wilson that this seems to be a big deal in Gator Nation. So, I mean, it's good to be that excited about a freshman, but I also think you have to pump the brakes. And again, he is a true freshman, so is it fair that he's going to be counted on as much as it appears that he is?
I mean, that's to be determined. I mean, I'm not saying that he's this type of person, but I mean, Jeremiah Smith was a true freshman a year ago, and it doesn't surprise anybody that covered him in high school that watched his highlights that he was going to be a productive, really good player. And Dallas Wilson he might not be to that degree or that level, but he seems like he's going to be really, really good. I mean, Jaden Ball a year ago had a really good spring game. I was like, oh, okay, this guy could be really good. And who was that guy in the spring this year? It was Dallas Wilson.
He had 10 catches in the spring game. That's right.
I mean, he was, there was everybody and there was him.
And look, again, you're probably right. It probably happens all over the country, but it just seems like Florida gets kind of snake bit in fall camp with these injuries. We'll see. Again, they play LSU in 38 days. You need all your guys to be ready to go in 38 days. No offense to our friends from Long Island. And look, no disrespect to USF. I think USF potentially could give Florida some problems. But at the end of the day, if Florida, even with guys being out, can't beat USF in Gainesville, then what are we doing? Then what is all this talk about a dark horse playoff team? And what is all this talk about, can they beat Miami and can they do this and do that, if you're legitimately concerned about USF coming into Gainesville? So as long as everybody is as 100% as they possibly can be, or as close to it as they can be on September 13th heading into Baton Rouge, we'll see. So again, you still have over a month, but a little concerning with these injuries. And quickly, Florida State, well, they're here in Jacksonville tomorrow and Friday. Now, I don't know how many of you actually know that. It's not been marketed very well, and I don't believe... Are they not opening that to the media? Is that my understanding?
Yeah, the only person that's talked about it, I think, is Rick Ballou, and that said no one can go. Only the players and the staff.
Obviously, I mean, the reason Florida State went 2-10 last year and just completely embarrassed themselves was because the media was let into practice at the beginning of the season. I mean, that's obviously the reason why Memphis beat them and why they couldn't stop Georgia Tech's running attack. I mean, that is so stupid and so petty. And it's not just Florida State. A lot of schools do it, and it's dumb, dumb, dumb. The media is an outlet to the fans. When you block media access, all you're doing is blocking fan access. Fans that pay your salary, fans that buy your merchandise, fans that buy your tickets. It's ludicrous. And if the only viable reason is that you're worried about injuries being reported, well, guess what? Injuries are going to be reported whether the media is out there or not. There'll just be more speculation if the media is not out there than if we were. But I digress. Florida State is here tomorrow and Friday as they're getting ready for one of the biggest games on Labor Day weekend as they take on the Alabama Crimson Tide at Doak Campbell Stadium on Saturday, August the 30th. Halftime, Hacker After Dark, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. Back into the Jacksonville Jaguars. You'll hear from running back Laquentin Allen, former Jaguar DB Demetrius McCrae, and a whole lot more. With you till 10 o'clock, Jacksonville, right here on Hacker After Dark, 1010 XL and 92.5 FM.
If real life were sports, radio would be like 1010 XL.
I like this kind of party.
Because sports are more fun than real life. There's 1010 XL.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com and equal opportunity employer.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference. For 100 years, service you can trust. Lee and Kate's Glass, depend on us. Glass solutions to meet your needs. Reliable quality guaranteed. Complete customer satisfaction. With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece. Premium flooring, take our advice. Home business, affordable price. Driveways, pool decks, garage doors, beautiful patios, and more to explore. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
9 o'clock hour has arrived. Hacker After Dark, 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Jaguar rookie running back Laquentin Allen, a Jaguar training camp one-on-one with a conversation I had with Laquentin yesterday morning. That comes up in less than 5 minutes. How about Mike Vrabel today at Patriots camp? Did you guys see this? So apparently there was a skirmish of some sort. Patriot players were exchanging pleasantries. And we're kind of at that point, right? Actually, I think the Patriots had a joint practice today with maybe the Commanders.
That's it.
Yeah, so there was maybe a skirmish between two teams as well with Washington and New England. But nevertheless, the point of the story is, Mike Vrabel, who's a tough physical dude. You remember him as the linebacker for the Patriots and the Cleveland Browns and the defensive coordinator in Houston and obviously the head coach with the Titans. He's in year number 1 in New England. Apparently, he got in there to separate the skirmish today, and a pileup ensued, and the head coach came out bloody. There was some blood on him, on the cheek. I mean, he got in there and got after it. The skirmish ended, and the teams went their separate ways, but not that Vrabel needed any respect for his players, but good heavens, if a coach is going to go in there and get bloody to separate and pull guys off, man, that's showing your players something, right? I think Mike Vrabel, if you were to have a battle royal with every head coach in the National Football League, the betting favorite would be Dan Campbell, right? No question about that. The second betting favorite might be Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel just does not look like a guy that you would want against you in an alley fight. I'll tell you what, Denmark, if I got to form a tag team of head coaches, you give me Dan Campbell and Mike Vrabel, you can have your choice of literally anybody else, and I'm going to like my chances among the NFL head coaching community.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now. D'Amico Ryans would be in the conversation. He sure would. Defensive guys.
Some of them are older now.
Yeah, like Pete Carroll. It wouldn't be Andy Reid. Shanahan might be a little feisty.
Yeah, the younger guys. Yeah. By the way, Cohen's not exactly a small guy, but there's something about Dan Campbell and Mike Vrabel that I really, really like. And Mike Vrabel mixing it up, or he wasn't mixing it up. He was separating folks in a skirmish today, but in doing so, got a little bloody in the process. That'll be a talking point for the Patriots moving forward in their camp. Jordan Addison of Minnesota suspended for 3 games. Minnesota, all of a sudden, Justin Jefferson with a hamstring. They think he'll be okay, but it's a hamstring. And now you find out Jordan Addison suspended for 3 games as well. Of course, J.J. McCarthy, who's never taken a regular season snap, is the starting quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of questions now for a team that was very, very good last year. And did you see Davante Adams on The Pivot, this podcast, a very popular podcast? Davante Adams was a guest, and he was talking about Travis Hunter. And Adams told the podcast The Pivot, quote, "I don't even think it's possible to do for real, not at a high level, regarding playing both positions." Adams went on to say this about Travis Hunter and what he's doing. "It's hard enough to cover a punt and then be on one side. I haven't done it. I'm not acting like I'm on kickoff or punt, but I see the dudes. You see my yardage versus the yardage of someone who starts on offense and plays special teams as well. That's just a lot of mileage, man. I'm not even concerned so much if he can do it over the course of a game or a season. It's more like how long in his career. But if he plays that many snaps, all you're doing is doubling your risk of injury. Denmark, quickly, because we got to go to Laquentin Allen. Travis Hunter will get wind of that, obviously. And I don't think Davante Adams was talking smack about him. But a lot of media people are doubting Travis Hunter. A lot of fans are doubting Travis Hunter. When a guy like Davante Adams goes publicly and doubts that Travis Hunter can do this, is that just fuel to Travis Hunter's fire, in your opinion?
I think it's just something that he's heard 100,000 times, and he's just another person.
See, I don't know. I disagree. I think when talking heads like me say it, or a fan says it, that's one thing. I mean, Davante Adams has an argument to be in Canton, Ohio one day. He's one of the best wide receivers that's played in the last, quarter century in the NFL. When you got him doubting it, I don't know. I think when your peers, that might either resonate more, get you a little madder. It'll do something, at least to me, it would do something more than a random media person saying it or a random fan saying it. At least I took notice of Davante Adams doubting if Travis Hunter can do this. I would think if I took a little more notice to that, my thought would be that Travis Hunter might at least take a little more notice to that, but we'll see. A lot of people are doubting whether he can do it, and it will be fascinating to see if he can. Laquentin Allen, Jaguar rookie running back out of Syracuse, 7th-round pick. It was his birthday yesterday. Yesterday morning, I had the opportunity to catch up with him outside of the Miller Electric Center during Jaguar training camp. Here is that Jaguar conversation, training camp conversation with rookie tailback Laquentin Allen Jr.
Now, renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
All right, Jaguar training camp wrapping up the Miller Electric Center. We got Jaguar running back Laquentin Allen Jr. with us here on 1010XL. First and foremost, happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I have no doubt there is nothing more on your birthday you want to do than talk to us here on 1010XL, so we certainly appreciate it.
For sure, and definitely be at practice, too.
I was telling you earlier, I had Jeff Nixon on, your offensive coordinator at Syracuse, when you got drafted.
That's my guy.
Just raved about you, man. Obviously, you meant a great deal to the people up at Syracuse. What does it mean to hear coaches talk about you so glowingly like that?
It means a lot, being able to have coaches like that and give me like a step forward. Before I came in, it was just the same about offense, but just different terminology and things like that. So I picked up things very quickly, thanks to him and, Coach Red over there and everybody on offense, just sitting down with me one-on-one and, teaching me the offense, teaching me pro style and things like that, and just, helping me throughout my journey.
Crazy time for you, man. Obviously, you get drafted. You're right into rookie minicamp. You're right into OTAs. Now you're veteran minicamp and now training camp. What have these last 3 months been like for you?
It's been amazing, life-changing, definitely. Being able to lock in with the vets and things like that and learn how to be a pro every day and carry myself like a pro. And it's been amazing, man.
One thing that's very apparent when we see you run the ball is you're going to run hard and you're going to run violently. That's what some fans say. I mean, you've laid the lumber to some people out here. Where does that running style come from?
Just comes from being me and, coming from my parents and, just taking their traits with me onto the field, definitely.
You finally get to hit somebody in another uniform on Saturday. How excited are you for your first preseason NFL game?
Yes, sir. I'm excited to go out there, perform with my teammates and come out with a win.
You and Bayshell Tootin, not a lot of draft classes have two running backs in it, and you guys come in together, obviously. What's that dynamic been like? Are you learning from each other?
Definitely learning from each other in that 1-2 punch and things like that. And, just trying to make each other better, on and off the field, ways to help us, take care of our body and things like that, like the cold tub, hot tub, sauna, like whatever, recovery and, extra work out here on the field, routes, blocking, running the ball. And it's just been amazing, having him as a teammate.
Final moments, Laquentin Allen Jr., Jaguar running back, getting ready for the Pittsburgh Steelers on Saturday night. A couple of veterans in that running back room, Etienne, Bigsby.
Yes,
I know I saw Etienne do something today. You were the first guy out there to congratulate him.
Yes,
seems like a lot of chemistry in that running back room.
Now, definitely, we're all close, from the top down, and, we just want to see each other win and get each other better and, be out there to perform every day at our highest level.
lot of newness here. Obviously, you were not here last year. A lot of guys weren't here last year. William Cohen included in that. What do you like from the new head coach? What do you like from the new staff here in Jacksonville?
I like that, they like physical guys. They like guys to attack, defense and things like that, and, be tough at the end of the day. And I think I fit the script that they're looking for, and I just try to be that every day and be physical and attack people and, play fast and run hard.
As we wrap up, you're going to play in an NFL stadium on Saturday night in your first NFL preseason game. I mean, what does that mean to you? That's got to be an amazing feeling.
Definitely amazing feeling, but, you're going to treat it like, practice. You treat practice like a game, so, go out there, don't do nothing too much, don't do nothing too low, just do your job and play hard, play physical, and just be who you are.
Final question. When Laquentin Allen's not running people over on a football field, what are some of your hobbies off the field? What do you think of the city of Jacksonville?
I love Jacksonville. I haven't got a chance to see it at all, but hopefully one day I get the chance to see it all. And I've been to the beach and things like that. They got lovely beaches, lovely people, lovely community. And, I'm a family-oriented guy. I like to be around family and things like that. And, just like to be there for my family. So, yeah.
Well, happy birthday, man. Best of luck Saturday night.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
There you go, Laquentin Allen Jr. with us here on Hacker After Dark. 7th-round pick. I'll tell you, there's a lot of years where 7th-round picks don't make a statement 2 weeks into camp. Laquentin Allen Jr. has made a few statements 2 weeks into camp, and he is one of the guys that I am very excited about seeing play on Saturday night against Pittsburgh. Speaking of the Steelers, what is their thought process, their mindset coming down to Jacksonville for the preseason opener? Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about Jalen Ramsey. Let's talk about DK Metcalf, TJ Watt, and what on paper appears to be a pretty good Pittsburgh Steelers football team. My guy up in Pittsburgh is Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He joins me next on a Wednesday evening here in Northeast Florida. We're glad you're with us. Hacker After Dark till 10 o'clock right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
He talks, he listens, he tells stories only a coach could know.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer, tuned up by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet. Friday mornings on 1010XL.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. And if your dream is to create that space where you're living large in your backyard, then you need to get with the good people at CSS. They put a gas log in our fireplace, an awesome fire pit out back where the kids can toast s'mores and we can just hang out and watch the game. It's all part of your outdoor living experience with CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Put a little hot sauce on your lunchtime listening.
Spicy.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy. They are XL Prime Time.
Or alarm fired.
From the big #1 Duval Ford Studios. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
From home
humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Takaloo has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' Shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, to thank for 17 years. Takaloo in Jacksonville Beach.
Frank Franzi here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Morton Anderson missed a chip shot field goal that launched the underdog Jaguars into the playoffs in 1996. You know who doesn't miss? Coyle & Sons Fencing. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coyle & Sons, keeping your business and home safe for nearly a century. That's 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com.
The playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. And all of a sudden, it's game week, the preseason game variety, the Jaguars and the Steelers. Saturday night, 7 o'clock, pregame coverage right here on 1010XL will begin at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon as the Steelers and the Jaguars play in their preseason opener. Let's head to Pittsburgh. Our guy up with the Steelers is Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He's always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Ryan. How are you?
Ray, we're good. Thank you for the time. And you and I spoke during our division previews earlier in the summer, and man alive, a lot has transpired with the Pittsburgh Steelers since that conversation. Let's begin with Aaron Rodgers. That happened a few weeks after you and I talked. What has been the reaction to Aaron Rodgers up there in the Steel City?
Yeah, I think it's hopeful once Aaron and his receivers get some chemistry down, but I got to be honest, through the first 2 weeks of training camp, that chemistry has been slow to build. So there's been a lot of miscommunication, a lot of balls on the ground here through the first 2 weeks. I think that's to be expected, right? Because Rodgers didn't sign until the first week of June. They didn't add Jonnu Smith until the final week of June. And then, of course, their biggest offseason acquisition, DK Metcalf, was acquired in March. And, he's getting used to, his surroundings and his new quarterback as well. So I think once we get to the regular season and that unit looks a little bit better, I think there will be more promise, more potential for that group. But right now, they're still trying to feel each other out.
Seemingly, this was always the plan, right? I mean, we heard Rodgers and the Steelers as far back as, I guess, March. Why did it take to June? Just because Aaron probably didn't want to go through OTAs?
Well, that's probably part of it. I think it's been well reported that, Aaron had some personal issues with family that he was dealing with. So I think that delayed the timeline as well. But you're right. We've talked to Mike Tomlin since Aaron has signed, and he had a pretty good idea probably way back in March that this was going to happen. So he felt comfortable all along. But like I said, the only issue right now is, can they get on the same page in time for the regular season? I mean, they're jumping in right away. They're going to play Aaron Rodgers' old team in New York in the opener. And, they've still got some work to do. So I think the talent is there when you add a guy like Jonnu Smith, what he produced in Miami last year. You have Pat Freiermuth as your top tight end. I think he's got enough weapons. I think the challenge right now for Aaron is, and for offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, is how do all these new pieces fit into the puzzle? And that's what they're trying to figure out here in training camp.
Jaguars and the Steelers Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL. Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette with us here on Hacker After Dark. All right, Ray, the other huge acquisition is a guy we know very well in Jalen Ramsey. You mentioned Jonnu Smith. Jalen Ramsey was also a part of that deal from Miami. What has been the reaction to Ramsey's arrival in Pittsburgh?
Man, he just makes that defense much better. The defense was good most of last season. They kind of fell apart late in the season, but I tell you, like a guy like Ramsey, who I know he's 30 years old now, but he just brings an edge to this group, and he's got the ability to cover still. And it's been interesting, Ryan, to watch all the different ways that Mike Tomlin and defensive coordinator Terrell Austin are using him. When they play nickel, Jalen Ramsey can play in the slot or he can play outside, depending on the opponent and the matchup for that week. When they've gone to their base defense, Jalen Ramsey has dropped back and he's been the free safety. And when you talk to his teammates, the most impressive thing about Jalen so far is how seamless his transition is when he goes from slot to the outside, or when he goes from outside and drops back to play free safety. Everyone's just been really impressed with how well he handles that, not only physically, but mentally, being able to handle all those different positions. So, they were not a top 10 defense after last season ended because they finished so poorly. But I think Ramsey's acquisition really vaults them back into being one of the most impressive defenses, on paper at least, in the NFL.
One of the other big stories that happened in the months since we chatted, Ray, is TJ Watt. We have some clarity on that situation. He's now going to be with the Steelers for the long haul. I think he probably always was, right? But that was obviously good to get that deal done and behind him.
Yeah, I mean, it just took a little bit of time. And, you look around the league and what's going on with Micah Parsons in Dallas and Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati. The Steelers are looking pretty good now that they're in the clubhouse with Watt under contracts here. So, he's going to move around the defense a little bit more. They have some plans for him, to play in some different spots this year. But I got to tell you, overall, the outside linebacker group for the Steelers, I think it's their deepest position. Alex Highsmith is opposite Watt. He's a little bit banged up now. I'm not sure he's going to play on Saturday. But Nick Herbig, I think, could start for a lot of teams. He's their top reserve. And I'll tell you, one of the most impressive rookies through the first 2 weeks of training camp has been Ohio State's Jack Sawyer. He looks every bit the part of a Steelers outside linebacker, and I think he's going to be in that rotation as well.
Final moments with Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The Steelers come down here to Jacksonville for the preseason opener for both clubs on Saturday night. A very un-Steeler-like training camp, or I guess off-season, Ray. I mean, you talk about Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith and DK Metcalf. I mean, the Steelers kind of went all in on some huge veteran names. Does that lead you to believe that maybe Mike Tomlin and the folks there believe they need to start winning postseason games instead of just getting to the postseason?
Yeah, that's the edict from ownership. They finally want to get over the hump and get back to winning in the postseason. They haven't done it since the 2016 season. They advanced to the AFC Championship game that year, and then it's just been a series of disappointments every year after that. So, I think they're trying to take advantage of this window when they still have TJ Watt and Cam Hayward on defense. We talked about adding Ramsey. So the defense is still very good. And, they're still looking for that franchise quarterback of the future, but they believe Aaron Rodgers is that guy right now who could maybe be the difference maker once they do get to the postseason. So I have every reason to believe this team's going to be in that area again of 9, 10, 11 wins. We'll see what happens once the postseason gets here. But yes, there is optimism inside the Steelers building that Rodgers and some of these other new additions can help them get back to their winning ways in the postseason.
Would doubt we're going to see a lot of the Steelers' big names on Saturday night. But, Ray, you mentioned a couple of guys earlier. For Jaguar fans that'll be at the game Saturday, who's a Steeler or two, maybe a young player that has really stood out to you the Jaguar fans need to keep their eyes on?
And then if I had to pick one other player on offense, and I think he's actually going to get some playing time, it's a third-round pick, running back Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. I think there's the expectation inside that building that on first and second downs this year, he's probably going to get the most touches, the most carries among the running backs. And they're kind of a group in transition right now. Najee Harris left in free agency to go to the Chargers. They also have Jalen Warren. They added Kenneth Gainwell in free agency. But keep an eye on Caleb Johnson Saturday night. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time.
Jaguars and the Steelers Saturday night. You'll hear the game right here on 1010XL. Our man up in Pittsburgh is Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Ray, appreciate the conversation. Thank you as always. We'll talk again soon, pal.
Anytime, Ryan. Appreciate it.
The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
As a contractor, finding reliable subcontractors is key to project success. Prosser here. Guys, that's where Lloyd's Heating and Air shines. Not just your mechanical HVAC experts, but your partner, understanding every facet of construction to keep your project on track. Lloyd's will spot issues early before they cause delays. If you're a contractor with a need for reliability, visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In the summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
they are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. So whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right, and we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like EVO implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away?
I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
1010XL is presented by Barra & Barra, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Thank you to Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. You know, it's interesting. The Steelers come in here on Saturday. The thought was Will Howard, who quarterbacked Ohio State, quarterbacked the Buckeyes to a national championship. He was drafted in the 6th round by the Steelers. The thought was he was going to get some extensive playing time on Saturday against the Jaguars. Well, Will Howard broke a bone in his hand yesterday in practice. So, you know, Aaron Rodgers is not going to play. Will Howard is now not going to play. Pittsburgh really can't sign another quarterback and get him up to speed in time for Saturday. So I would imagine Mason Rudolph will probably play a little more than he thought he was going to. And then Skylar Thompson will play probably the last 2 or 3 quarters. But we should get a quarter and a half, my guess, of Mason Rudolph. And why does that matter? Well, for the defense that's going to be doing a new scheme with Anthony Campanile, again, we don't know how many, if any, of the defensive starters are going to play. But if you want to get those guys ready, usually preseason game 1, you're playing a rookie quarterback or somebody along those lines. I mean, Mason Rudolph started games last year in the National Football League. You could do a little bit worse than getting your defense ready for a preseason opener, having to face a guy like Mason Rudolph. So I kind of like that aspect of it. So we'll see how Pittsburgh does approach that. Former Jacksonville Jaguar defensive back Demetrius McCrae joins me coming up here in less than 10 minutes. I saw Demetrius out there at the Miller Electric Center for the Jaguar. I guess it was their alumni practice. A lot of former Jaguars were in attendance. Demetrius was one of them, and he's going to join me coming up here in less than 10 minutes to talk a little Travis Hunter and also look around the rest of this Jaguar roster. Speaking of the Jaguar roster, down at practice today, much better practice for the offense. Head and shoulders, 180-degree difference. The offense, quite frankly, was bad yesterday. Probably their worst practice of camp. Now, again, it's early August. You don't want to get too high or too low, but it was not a good practice yesterday. And I pretty much said last night, and I tweeted this out this morning, you kind of knew when you saw Trevor being frustrated at the podium yesterday, and you saw Liam Cohen's frustration, you knew the offense struggled. Didn't you kind of know they were going to come out today and perform a heck of a lot better? And they did. Even without Brian Thomas Jr., BTJ did not practice due to an illness. He's listed as day-to-day. I thought Travis Hunter did some nice things. I thought De'Ami Brown did some nice things. And the 2 best catches of the day, a one-handed grab by Brenton Strange, an incredible catch. I believe it was Eric Murray that was covering him. I'm 98% sure it was Eric Murray. Eric, forgive me if I'm wrong. You were in position. Strange just made a heck of a play. And then Parker Washington made a crazy good catch with Andrew Dewey Wingard in coverage. Again, Wingard was there. Washington just simply made a play. And it was a great day for the offense. Those 2 plays were what stood out. But Cephas also did some nice things. The running game did some nice things. It was nice to see the offense bounce back from what was, quite frankly, a pretty bad day at the office yesterday. So what will tomorrow bring? Tomorrow is the last practice until the game. I guess they'll have a walkthrough on Friday. No media access on Friday. So we'll be down there tomorrow. I'm scheduled to go one-on-one with Jaguar safety Antonio Johnson Really looking forward to that because I think Antonio Johnson has had a very good camp to this point. Of course, you'll hear that conversation tomorrow night on the Thursday night edition of Hacker After Dark. But let's talk about Jaguar training camp. Let's talk about preseason game number 1. And let's obviously talk about Travis Hunter. We're going to talk about Travis Hunter on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, can he do both as a wide receiver as well? We're going to do all that with a former Jacksonville Jaguar draft pick, a former Jacksonville Jaguar defensive back, my buddy Demetrius McCrae of App State and the Jacksonville Jaguars. He joins us next on a Wednesday night here in Northeast Florida with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Jacksonville, we're glad you're with us. It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
Shuffle up and deal for a cause. Let's go all in to help others out. Join the Hold'em for Life poker tournament coming up September 20th at Blessed Trinity Parish Hall. Every hand helps the Women's Help Center support expectant mothers and newborns.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at ViStar Ballpark November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
Dreams Come True is a local wish-granting organization giving dreams and special times to local children battling life-threatening illnesses. Find out how you can help at dreamscometrue.org.
City Rescue Mission has been providing food, clothing, and love for over 70 years to the homeless in Jacksonville. If someone you know is struggling, learn more about the City Rescue Mission at crmjax.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. It's Renewal by Anderson's triple savings month. Get $300 off windows and $825 off patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Back to school special with those guys. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135, plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Steelers Saturday night in the preseason opener for both clubs. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL radio. Let's talk a little Jaguar offseason. Let's preview Saturday night, and let's certainly spend some time on Travis Hunter with a former Jacksonville Jaguar defensive back. I saw him out at practice this past weekend. That is former Jaguar DB Demetrius McCrae. Demetrius, how we doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, Demetrius, we're good, man. Thank you for the time. I know there was a lot of former Jaguars out at practice this past weekend. What an off season it's been. Before we dive into Travis Hunter, just your thoughts, the new coaching staff, all the turnover on the roster, certainly a lot of change this off season.
Yeah, it has been, and it's been looking good too as well. You know, I seen the practice yesterday. I came out to a few OTAs as well, and the team is looking good. I was talking to a few players yesterday, and they was just, I was telling them, like, in the division, just on paper, we got a really good shot, with the roster that we have. We got a really good shot at the division, but that's all talk right now. You just we got to go execute. So, but yeah, it's been looking good this offseason. I'm excited for what the season is going to hold this year, just like every year. But I think this year we got a really good shot.
Demetrius, you were drafted here in Jacksonville. You played defensive back in the National Football League. I'm curious, first and foremost, your thoughts on Travis Hunter.
Well, I think everybody can see he's an incredible athlete. One of those athletes that you see once in a generation, right? You see Dion, you see Bo Jackson, and then, if Travis can live up, to the potential, his name could be right there as one of those generational type of athletes. LeBron is one of those, just freak athletes that we see every once in a while. And being able to play both sides of the ball, that's just something that we haven't seen, especially at this level. And so if he's able to accomplish that, he can put his name out with some of the greats.
That's where I want to go with you as well. Again, you spent 3 years as a Jacksonville Jaguar. You started, 16-plus games or so as a Jacksonville Jaguar at cornerback. And the idea that Travis Hunter is going to want to play both DB and wide receiver and not just play them sparingly. I mean, we're talking about big-time snaps on both sides of the ball. How do you think that's ultimately going to work out, in your opinion?
It's This game, it takes a lot on your body, right? So I think they have to be very strategic, the Jags, on, how many snaps on both sides of the ball that he has. I think it will definitely be, taxing on his body, later on in his career. So they really got to be very strategic on when they want to, pull those triggers on getting him on both sides of the ball. But, being able to, have packages, that's going to be one thing so he can make the plays that he needs to make. But yeah, I think he can definitely be both sides of the ball. But, he's got to be very strategic. And I think they're coming up with that plan to do it. Tony and James, I think they're coming up with a great plan to, utilize him as along with Liam. So, I'm just excited to see what he can do.
Former Jaguar defensive back Demetrius McCrae with us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. Demetrius, you look at the rest of the secondary, Tyson Campbell, Jarian Jones, the addition of Jordan Lewis. It's looked pretty good out there at camp. I mean, we're early, obviously, but what's your thought on the secondary as a whole?
I think, like you said, it's looking good right now. Tyson Campbell has solidified himself, as being a top corner. You got Jarian Jones, who's making the plays, that I've seen throughout training camp. And then Jordan Lewis is that veteran, right? That veteran in the middle at nickel. And then our safeties, Eric Murray, he's a veteran as well. He's been around the league a few years. So I'm excited to see what he does. Johnson is just coming into, his own. And then also you got Raquan Lane as well, our draft pick out of Tulane. I'm excited to see what he does. He got some pretty good tape, coming out of Tulane. So, if they can all put it together and the communication is there, and they can build that chemistry, I think we can really fight for, the division this year.
For guys, Demetrius, like Trayvon Walker, Hines Allen, Foye, you mentioned Tyson Campbell, guys that have been here at least 3 years, this will be the third consecutive year with a different defensive coordinator. I know people love Anthony Campanile. I'm a big Anthony Campanile fan, but what are some of the, issues that come with having a third different voice as that DC in just the last 3 seasons?
Yeah, some of the difficulties that can be, just the consistency and just learning a new playbook year after year. So, that's one of the things. But I think this year is going to be one of those, like, you can obviously tell on, during training camp, the team is brought into, what the defense is. It's been really great to see. I can't wait. It seems everybody is running fast to the ball. Everybody's pursuing. They're going to have that attitude. I just can't wait to see the tenacity that they bring. And it comes down from the defensive coordinator, just the intensity that he brings to practice every single day.
As we shift gears to the offensive side of the ball, you saw some great quarterbacks that you played against with your 4 years in the National Football League. What's your thought on Trevor Lawrence entering 2025?
He has to make that jump. I think this year is that jump for him. If the O-line can keep him upright, he has all the weapons that he needs. And this is the year, making that jump, and he's going to do it. He's been very accurate. Yesterday, he was very, very accurate, with the ball. And so this is the year that we have to be able to execute some of those throws. You got to keep him upright so he can make the throws, and then as the playmakers get the ball, they have to do what they have to do as well.
The idea of Travis Hunter with Brian Thomas Jr., I love what I've seen at De'Ami Brown, the free agent from Washington. I mean, you mix in Brenton Strange there, and of course the running game. On paper, Demetrius, it doesn't look like a half-bad offense at the skill positions.
It doesn't. You got Brian Thomas Jr. coming off an incredible rookie season. This year, the league is on notice for him. And so being able to complement him with the Travis Hunter or the De'Ami Brown, that's just going to open up the offense a little more with the athlete that Travis is. And then you got De'Ami Brown with his speed, and he's crafty, crafty with him being a savvy vet a little bit as well. But then the run game opens that up. You got two backs who are capable of running the ball 3 downs, 3 downs every time, and catching the ball out the backfield. So, this year, Trevor, he has a lot of different weapons that he can get the ball to. And he's going to, he's going to get the ball to those playmakers, and they have to go find the end zone.
Demetrius, as we wrap up, I know it's not been easy being a former Jaguar or a Jaguar media member or a Jaguar fan. There's a connotation with this team because of the way the last 15 or so years have gone. But you look at this offseason with Liam Cohen and James Gladstone and Tony Baselli, the addition of Travis Hunter, guys like Brian Thomas and certainly Trevor Lawrence, the stadium of the future. We see all the construction down there that's going on that will continue. And, of course, that stadium of the future will be brand new in 2028. It appears to be a good time to be affiliated with the Jaguars. The arrow seems to be pointing up a little bit. Is that the vibe you get as a former Jaguar?
Yeah. You see it, you sense it. We have the roster to be able to kind of make that jump this year. And we have to go execute because, we want to eventually bring a Super Bowl to the city. We got to go execute. And, that's what the team are, that's what they're doing right now through training camp. And then during the year, they just have to continue to do what they're supposed to be doing. We know what the type of roster that we have. And so, in order to do that, we can bring a title to this city that they deserve. And then, you see these upgrades, they starting to pay, all of it is it'll start to pay off, and us with us winning, right? The stadium, all the construction, around the stadium. It's going to be good to see here in the next few years.
Former defensive back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Demetrius McCrae. Demetrius, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. We'll talk again soon, pal.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me, Ryan.
And thank you, too, former Jaguar defensive back Demetrius McCrae, for joining me tonight here on Hacker After Dark. Had the opportunity to see Demetrius down at training camp this past weekend. Thought it would be a great opportunity to get him on to talk about the life of a DB in the National Football League, what Travis Hunter is going to go through on that side of the ball, combining that with his role, obviously, as a wide receiver. So certainly appreciate Demetrius McCrae for joining us tonight. A lot about Jaguar training camp. We are now 2 weeks in officially. The first practice was 2 weeks ago today. They'll be back on the practice field tomorrow at the Miller Electric Center. And then I would presume a walkthrough on Friday, and then preseason game number 1 Saturday night between the Steelers and the Jaguars. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL with pregame coverage beginning at 4 o'clock. We also spent some time on the college gridiron as well, as hard to believe we're 2.5 weeks away from week 0 of the college football season. And I believe we stand, 24 days away from Florida State, from Florida, from opening weekend in the college game. Of course, Alabama and Florida State will be one of the biggest games of that weekend. Florida gets a tough test against Long Island, but hey, nevertheless, it will be college football in the swamp 24 days from right now. Well, that will just about do it, man. Very, very busy Wednesday night edition of Hacker After Dark. We certainly appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. We have a ton of people to thank. Again, former Jaguar defensive back Demetrius McCrae. Appreciate Demetrius joining us here on Hacker After Dark. Thank you to Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, as we got the Steeler perspective on this matchup on Saturday night, as Pittsburgh will come in for the preseason opener. Thank you to Brian Sexton, Jaguars.com. You'll hear Brian on the TV play-by-play here locally alongside Bucky Brooks when the Jaguars take on the Steelers on Saturday. So, again, thank you to my buddy Brian Sexton. And we brought you a couple of Jaguar training camp one-on-ones with rookie running back Laquentin Allen Jr. and with linebacker Chad Muma. And as always, we certainly thank the Jaguar PR staff for always helping us out here on Hacker After Dark, securing those one-on-one interviews. Now, we will be back tomorrow night on a Thursday, and we will do it all over again beginning at 8 o'clock. Dylan Denmark was your producer tonight. Dylan, great job as always. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us right here on Hacker After Dark on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.